Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of my Create This Book series by me and Moriah Elizabeth. Today I'm going to be doing 4 more prompts in this book. I've already done so many and there really aren't that many more left to go, so I'm super excited to finish this soon, hopefully. I want to get this book done by the end of 2024, so I'm gonna have to push through, so you'll see a couple more of these videos coming your way. Though truth be told, I've been really struggling to actually get started in this book, but I really hope that today inspiration strikes and I feel more inspired. So before I begin, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get creating so that I can finish this Create This book. The first prompt of the day is to create a page from the past. So you're supposed to attach things from the past, and thankfully I've got this box here full of scary old art. There's a reason for this mask. I made it in elementary school, and for some reason I can't part ways with it. I'm just sentimental. So anyway, putting that to the side and looking through some old art. We were obsessed with space a couple years ago apparently, and I've also got some of these prints that I made from drawings I did, paintings I did, and there was this little guy in here which I really needed to see. Motivation follows action. That's the motto for today's video. I was really not feeling inspired, but time to put this box back because I found some art pieces that I think will work. We've got this wedding one and a couple of other things that I did from years ago, and I think that they'll fit perfectly into this book. This reminded me of this prompt where you kind of put doodles into the book because I found doodles to put in there. So this was similar because I found old art and I felt like these two pictures worked perfectly. I'll save this one for some other time, but for these two, they matched and they were made on the same day, so I felt like they would be perfect side by side in this book as just a way to document them and put them somewhere safe. And I think that this page turned out really cute, super simple, but here's some fun art that I made. And now it's time for the next prompt, which is to create unlikely art. This reminded me of my college sketchbook. In my college art class, we had to sketch random items for 20 minutes every single day, and you get really creative with what random items you can draw around the house. As you can see here, I've even got a spoon in this book. You can really get creative and draw anything, but I thought it would be fun to take inspiration from this dessert shoe that I made. I made it at one of those places where you can glaze pottery, so I didn't make the shoe, but I did paint the shoe, if that makes sense. So I thought that I would take inspiration from it and draw what I'm seeing in real life and turn this art piece into another art piece, which is kind of weird and I feel like kind of fits the prompt, but that was my idea, what I came up with to create unlikely art by taking an art piece and turning it into a different form of art. Also, I just really like the idea of a dessert shoe, so I thought it would be really fun to draw it. So I feel like it was a win-win for both situations. So then after that, it was time to sketch it out and outline everything. I made sure to add in those icing drips and add in the sprinkles, of course, as well. And then once it was time to color in, I decided to take some creative liberties and make it all of the fun colors that I wanted to make it in the store when I was glazing it. So I still stuck with some pink icing and made sure to make it look super colorful. The biggest change that I probably made, and I'll make it later, is that I made some of the shoe red velvet. That is my favorite cake flavor, so I couldn't resist adding in some red velvet cake layers to this shoe. But anyway, let me know down below what your favorite kind of cake is. What is your favorite flavor? It can be anything crazy. I'm just curious to know, and I think that will also give me some creative ideas for the future. But for now, I'm just working on coloring in that red velvet section. I decided to make the base a little red velvet since it's kind of a denser cake. And then after that, I did the ice cream cone heel. I'm not really sure why there's a cone for cake, but it's just cute and aesthetic. And then after that, I decided to make this base kind of another base of cake and do a vanilla combo. So I felt like that was cute. I thought I'd take another creative liberty and add in a bright red cherry to complement the red velvet, which I think was a super cute idea. And now it's time to color in the sprinkles with a whole bunch of different rainbow colors, and finally added in some highlights. And here's how it turned out. I felt like it needed a little bit more, so I thought it would be fun to just label all of the different elements of my dessert shoe and then also label it as well with a big title overhead. I just felt like it was super cutesy, and here's how it turned out. Here they are side by side. You can definitely see the inspiration, but here is my unlikely art. I created a dessert shoe out of a dessert shoe, so kind of weird and random, but it worked out really well, and I think it looks super cute, and it was fun to kind of reimagine the shoe in a little bit of a different way. But now it's time for the next prompt, which is to create chaos. I'm not gonna lie, at first this one had me pretty stumped. I had no idea how I was going to create chaos on this page, but then an idea struck, and I thought that it would be really chaotic to have a whole bunch of different prompts all over this page. That way it was like you couldn't figure out which one you were actually supposed to do. I felt like that would create a little bit of chaos, so I tried to come up with a whole bunch of different prompts, and I took inspiration from the Create This Book prompts that I've done in the past, and just kind of created a whole bunch of little different prompt squares and sections that would throw you off of the real prompt and make the page look super crazy and chaotic. I wanted it to be like your eye didn't know where to focus. So once I had the first page done, I decided to do the exact same thing on the other page, and it was pretty hard to come up with a variety of prompts. I have no idea how Moriah Elizabeth has been able to come up with 100 prompts for every book 3 times in a row. That's pretty crazy. I could barely come up with like 10. So that's really awesome. But here's how this page turned out, and I do think that it created chaos, and I think it looks pretty good and throws you off a little bit, which is fun. And the last page says to create cuts through layers, and you're supposed to get like magazines and newspapers and cut them up and then layer them all together, but I don't have those things on hand. I don't keep magazines and newspapers, and I just don't get those things. So what I did instead was take up a whole bunch of different colors of paper. I picked green, yellow, and blue, and then I ripped them up and then put them in sections in the book wherever I felt like was right. I kind of wanted one to come from the bottom right and from the top left, and then after that the page was looking pretty boring. So I took in these spring sticker sheet that I made, and I decided to add in these colorful stickers all over the page. I just felt like the color palette fit too well to not add it in. The page was still looking pretty blank though, so I added in some purple sparkles with a colored pencil, and then it was complete. This page is pretty simple, but it was fun and did help me express some creativity. Here's a look back at the first prompt of the day, which was to create a page from the past, and I found these drawings from 2020 all the way back. I didn't even have my own alcohol-based markers here. I used my mom's to make these, which is just such a fun memory. And then after that, the next prompt was to create unlikely art, and I made art out of art by taking my clay shoe design and transforming it into a drawing, which turned out super fun and cute. The next prompt was to create chaos, which I did by making a whole bunch of different prompts all over the page to kind of confuse you. And finally, I created cuts in paper by making a whole bunch of little tears in paper, putting them on the page, adding in some stickers, and here are all the prompts. The shoe one was really cute, but I think my favorite was this one, just on reflecting on some old memories and some old art. Let me know which one of the prompts from today was your favorite though. There were definitely some very challenging prompts today, but I'm very excited to finish up this book, so make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss me completing this Create This book. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!